What has transpired over the past couple of days is nothing short of moronic on the part of Battlestate Games, the creators of Escape from Tarkov, releasing a $250 version of their game, going full Darth Vader and altering the deal of people who previously bought the most expensive $150 version of the game, which was actually more in certain parts of Europe due to VAT, called the Edge of Darkness edition, by initially saying they got all future DLC no matter what, and then proceeding to try and pretend that a new mode in their new $250 version of their game is not DLC, so that Edge of Darkness owners don't get access to it.
I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Furthermore, I wish you to wear this dress and bonnet.
This was never a condition of our
I
arrangement.
have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
And this deal's getting worse all the time.
Here is a unicycle. You will ride it wherever you go.
What? I'm not riding no f***ing unicycle.
I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Let's start with the elephant in the room, the pay-to-win aspects of the new eye-watering $250 version of their game. Let's not pretend like this game hasn't been pay-to-win since day one with the Edge of Darkness edition. It blatantly has. The increased stash space and gamma container are the main culprits. This new version, however, takes the pay-to-win aspects and cranks it up to 12 by allowing you to call your boys in at any point during the raid in a game that's entire flow is dictated by the fact there's only one life. For those who don't play Escape from Tarkov, that's the equivalent of being 3/4 of the way through a Battle Royale game like Fortnite, and your friend comes online and they can just join into your lobby mid-match because you paid $250 for a certain version of Fortnite. This isn't even mentioning the bigger stash size, items to further increase your stash size, and the ability to not have AI shoot you past 60 meters. But this isn't what's upset most Edge of Darkness owners, the people who owned the previous most expensive version of the game. Edge of Darkness owners do not get access to the new offline co-op mode available in this $250 version, despite Edge of Darkness being advertised as getting all future DLC for free. We'll skirt past the fact that DLC in a fucking early access game shouldn't exist to begin with, but they are saying the reason they are doing this is because of server infrastructure for the offline mode. So I'm assuming they wouldn't be able to afford all the new servers that would be required to allow them to play this offline mode. Battlestate. Do you know what the definition of offline is? Because I don't think you do. If people have to connect to a server, communicate to a server, or interact with a server at any point, then the mode is by very definition not an offline mode. Maybe if you, I don't know, made your offline mode offline, you wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place because you wouldn't have to pay for the servers for a fucking offline mode. Don't tell me it's not possible, because modders have managed to do it for years. Breaking news! Owners of the Edge of Darkness edition can now upgrade to the $250 version for only €47 instead of €90.
I think the phrase you're all looking for is mission accomplished.
The phrase I'm looking for would fill my swear jar to the fucking brim. Damn it.
Next, let's talk about the big issue that has EOD owners pissed off. Retroactively changing the terms of the Edge of Darkness edition by saying that we would get all the DLC for free, then releasing DLC and not giving it to the EOD players. Then going back up through all public documentation of what you got with the Edge of Darkness edition, which is no longer on sale by the way, and changing the wording to seem like it's been like this all along. Ignoring the fact that this is literally illegal, this is a blatant spit in the face to your most loyal customers. Dropping $150 on a game is no small feat. Just recently, Ubisoft have been getting railed in the arse by the entire gaming community for a $120 version of their upcoming shitty Star Wars game. Yet, you not only had people willing to pay more than that for your game, which was in early access and barely fucking functional, but they happily did it to support you. These people were your most loyal players and you essentially just gave them the middle finger. However, what if I were to tell you that I'm not actually surprised that they've done this, because this is in fact not the first time they have done this to EOD owners. Oh no, they've pulled this shit before. Back when I first started playing in 2017, to get into the alpha, you had two options. You could buy the Edge of Darkness edition for €150 to guarantee you would gain access to the alpha, which you weren't allowed to stream or anything because it was under NDA, or buy the Prepare for Escape edition at about €100 if I recall. This edition, you'd have a chance to get into the alpha, I got the Prepare for Escape edition in February of 2017, and I was so early in its development, I got immediate access, since not many people were willing to drop this kind of cash on a game which had barely any gameplay. I loved this game so much that I upgraded a couple weeks later for 3 reasons. First, I wanted to support your game because I loved it even in its buggy alpha state. Second was because it was an extra £40 at the time, and you said I would get all subsequent DLCs, which £40 for a season pass, especially back in 2017, was the norm. And this was such a unique game that I thought, fuck it, why not? Third was because the Edge of Darkness edition was advertised as a limited edition that would go off sale once beta hit, so it was a FOMO thing. Beta was the point in which any edition of the game would be able to play the game, and it wasn't locked to the 2 highest tiers of Edge of Darkness or the Prepare for Escape edition. Edge of Darkness did not, however, go off sale once beta hit. In fact, it only recently went off sale this year, while Tarkov entered the beta state in the 28th of July of 2017, which means that the limited edition version of this game was on sale for 7 years longer than it should have been. Maybe Battlestate, if you kept your word 7 years ago and you removed EOD from sale and replaced it with a different version, without all the promises this supposed supporter edition of the game was, you wouldn't be in this predicament. But don't worry, those of us who were lied to about how limited this limited edition version of the game was, would get reparations in the form of a single key for a standard edition version of the game. Like this is at all useful for anybody who owned the then most expensive version of the game. Battlestate. You had one of the most loyal player bases on the planet. I know they shit on you every 3 seconds, but where it really matters is the wallet. And the fact is most players paid out the wazoo for one of the most expensive editions of a digital game on the market. We know most people have the $150 version because your name is gold in-game when you have this edition, and you see people's names when you die to them. And 80% of the time you die in this game is to an EOD owner. Taking these loyal players and treating them like shit is not how you do business, and it's a surefire way to tank your entire reputation. Not only this, but there's also a leaked interview, which we aren't 100% sure on whether it's real or not, so I won't harp on it too much. But when asked about the most expensive edition, you say, we will see who the true believers are. Oh, I'm sorry, Battlestate, was dropping £150 on your game in alpha when there was little to no gameplay and the game was barely functional, not enough of a real believer for you. £150, by the way, adjusted for inflation, is actually £193 in today's money. But I'm just not a believer, am I? Not a true believer. Only dropped £200 on your fucking game in the alpha state. You better pray to God this interview is not real, because if it turns out to be true, you will have completely nuked all goodwill from your most loyal customers. If you needed more money because you blew it all on Arena despite no one fucking asking for this mode, I promise you actually being straight with the player base would have been a much better PR stunt from you guys, and your player base is so loyal they would have been willing to support you. Giving the middle finger to your player base, sticking an eye-watering $250 version of the fucking game and making it massively pay to win, all while making it so the people who have already spent $150 on your game have to upgrade to this option in order to get content that you said that we would get for free for buying your $150 option before, is a goddamn joke.